Health officials are giving an update on COVID-19 within the county. Let's listen into what they have to say.
Today, I am retiring many of the restrictions that have been in place for a long time. One of these, such as remote working wherever possible, simply isn't necessary any longer because of where we are. So, I am rescinding the October risk reduction order, and I'm replacing it with a very simple order. And this order does just three things. One, it requires employers to determine the vaccination status of their employees. Two, it defines safety rules for employees who remain unvaccinated. And three, it continues to require that workplaces and schools report to us when they have a COVID case. And that's it. So as James mentioned, as of tomorrow, we'll be in the yellow tier, so we'll need to follow the state's yellow tier rules. And we will also be following the California Department of Public Health's masking rules, which means that for now, we'll all generally continue wearing our masks indoors for the time being. But people who are vaccinated, and most others, we don't need to wear our masks outdoors. And James and I have removed our masks today to model that behavior for you. I will admit to you, it is difficult after wearing this mask for so long to feel comfortable without it on, despite the fact that I'm vaccinated. And it's going to take time for many of us to make that change. Our new order ensures that everyone is safe while employers determine the vaccination status of their workers and while we continue to get even more of our residents vaccinated. We're continuing to make every effort in our county to reach our hardest hit communities so that we can ensure that everyone has access to this life-saving COVID vaccine. Our communities that have been hardest hit have been our focus since the beginning of the pandemic, and they will continue to be our focus. We've created lots of access in these communities, lots of access to vaccination, and will continue to be laser focused on equity. So for the first time in a long time, I feel optimistic. For a while, it seemed uncertain to me whether the vaccines or the variants would win. And I think that Team Vaccine is in the lead, holding the lead, and will win. But of course, we need everyone who's eligible to get vaccinated, who's eligible to be vaccinated, to go on and get vaccinated. And we need everyone to do this just as soon as we possibly can so that we can definitively win this race and bring this health emergency to a close, at least in this area. So our goal now is to get as many people vaccinated as quickly as we can so that we can protect people who aren't yet vaccinated or aren't eligible to be vaccinated in the meantime. This order will help us in doing that, and it will also allow many people who are vaccinated to begin to recapture some of the things that matter most to us. So if you haven't already gotten your vaccine, please do so as soon as you can. Visit our website, sccfreevax.org. Plenty of information of how to get vaccinated and where. And let's all look forward to a wonderful summer where we can all be and feel a bit safer and return to normal. Thank you so much, and I'm going to turn it back to James.
As Dr. Cody mentioned, today's health officer order replaces the October risk reduction order, and it has specific focused measures to continue to ensure safety in our community. This means the prior local requirements that were in place on top of the state's framework are now being retired. That includes the directive to maximize telework, as well as the requirement to submit and implement a social distancing protocol. And that was an across-the-board requirement on all businesses in our community. Again, those requirements are being rescinded effective tomorrow. Instead, this new limited focused order has three simple requirements. One is to continue to report COVID-19 cases just as before to the county public health department and cooperate with any contact tracing and case investigation, and continue to quarantine unvaccinated close contacts. Second, continue to use face coverings indoors as required by the state. And third, all businesses and governmental entities must determine the vaccination status of all their personnel within 14 days and follow some additional safety rules for those staff who are not yet fully vaccinated. Currently, some of the rules that businesses need to follow for workplace safety are different for those who are fully vaccinated and those who are unvaccinated. For example, quarantine for close contacts is not required for people who are fully vaccinated. Cal OSHA has proposed new workplace safety rules that will make those distinctions stronger. And in certain settings and contexts, face coverings are already not required for those who are fully vaccinated. That's why this new health order requires all businesses and entities to determine vaccination status of their personnel in the next 14 days. If someone chooses to decline to report their status, they must follow the safety rules for those who are unvaccinated. To make this easy, we've created a simple form that businesses can use to obtain this information and meet this requirement, but they are also free to use their own tools if they choose to do so, as long as they meet those requirements. We are one of the safest communities in the nation because our community is vaccinated. But if you haven't yet gotten your shot, there's no better time than right now. Appointments are really easy to get. Drop-ins, walk-up appointments, really accessible and available. All you need to do is visit sccfreevax.org. All the information is there. There's really no excuse. Over the last several months, it's become clearer and clearer that getting vaccinated is the single best thing that you can do to keep yourself safe, but also to protect your family, your friends, your neighbors, and your coworkers. Based on everything we know, this is our best pathway forward, and we urge everyone to get vaccinated right now. It's never going to be easier or simpler. There will never be more access than there is right now. Get fully vaccinated at this moment and visit sccfreevax.org to learn how to do so.